What's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Jay String back with another video, man. Today we got what happened to TSM Hamlinz update. I watched the what happened to TSM Daquan. If you didn't watch that video, make sure you go check it out. I saw this one. I said might as well react to it. So let's get to it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video. 95% of y'all is not subscribed. I don't know why that is. Just hit the subscribe button. Just rock with me, man. Almost to 300 subs. Let's go.
Okay, first of all, let me explain. Type 1 if you don't know why I was missing. So I needed some time by myself, bro, to, rekindle, get my thoughts together, get myself... I could be laughing, but I got this feeling in my heart. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's hard to explain. Everything's good now, bro, so bless up, yo.
At one point in time, Hamlinz was one of the most beloved streamers on all of Twitch. He was known for his overly positive, hilarious personality, his bizarre ability to convince random squad members that he was a child named Little Sus, and a skill level unmatched by many other players in the content creation sphere.
Oh, damn it, right when I tried to get in, like...
Yeah, this is the real Hamlin, I think.
However, in March of 2020, after a seemingly insignificant live stream on Twitch, Hamlinz would end the broadcast and has barely been heard from since that day. He hasn't uploaded to YouTube in over a year, he hasn't streamed in over a year, and only on Twitter has he posted the occasional tweet relating to his current whereabouts. However, these tweets contain hints relating to the eventual outcome of TSM Hamlinz, and when combined with a detailed analysis of his life leading up to the point of his disappearance, a pretty rock-solid theory can be constructed, attempting to answer the question of what happened to TSM Hamlinz.
Today, we basically gonna do a goddamn YouTube video. I've never done a YouTube video before, so basically what I'm gonna do is
In order to understand the full scope and possible motive for the disappearance of TSM Hamlinz, we have to go back to a point in time when the name Hamlinz was representative of nothing besides an unknown 18-year-old from the state of Virginia by the name of Daryl Hamlin. To set the scene, the year is 2013. And like many other young adults, this individual by the name of Daryl Hamlin seemed to be struggling with figuring out what he wanted to do with his life.
growing up, I always struggled with what I wanted to do. It was kind of weird because I literally did not know what I wanted to do.
He'd grown up playing video games such as RuneScape from the age of 8, and this is what he loved to do, play games. But I mean, he couldn't do this for a career, right? Well, thankfully, 2 years after wondering what Hamlinz was going to do with his future, he would come to discover the website Twitch, on which he was able to earn an income by streaming the games he enjoyed, such as RuneScape.
Man, watch this about to kill his ass real quick. Damn, oh!
After streaming somewhat casually from 2015 to 2017,
Back in the day, I used to stream in a shed, dude. Like outside, no AC. It used to be freezing in there. I used to wear jackets every stream.
it was getting to the point where Hamlinz had to decide whether or not he wanted to pursue a standard career or the riskier option, full-time streaming. Well, Hamlinz decided to take the road less traveled, making a deal with his mum that if his streaming career hadn't taken off after a year, he would go out and get a quote-unquote real job.
He was like, give me 1 year, and the tears were in his eyes, and I just knew that I've never seen him that passionate about anything in his life.
But the 1 year constraint wasn't actually such a bad thing, because given the finite amount of time,
Listen, y'all, I told my mom 1 year. It's not working out.
Hamlinz would begin to absolutely work his ass off in order to make something of the opportunity.
I used to deliver food for 7 hours, come home at 1 a.m., stream from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m., go to sleep for 5 hours, wake up again to do the same thing every day.
However, there was an instant problem with this deal from the day it was launched. It began in March 2017, and at the time the only game Hamlinz was streaming was RuneScape, which didn't have a very big audience. By November 2017, 8 months deep into the 1 year deal, Hamlinz had only built his channel to around 100 viewers per stream, not nearly enough to continue as a full-time streamer, and with only 4 months left, the clock was certainly ticking. However, at around the same time, by pure chance, a new game would be introduced into the world that would be somewhat of a savior for Daryl Hamlin's 1 year streaming deal. Fortnite Battle Royale was released in September 2017, and like many others looking for a new game to stream at the time, Hamlinz would go ahead and give it a shot.
Let's go, baby! Woo!
Safe to say, Hamlinz loved Fortnite, and would begin to play the game 14 to 15.
Fortnite was really that era made everybody blow up. Like a lot of streamers, a lot of YouTubers blew up off of Fortnite. I don't think no other game is gonna be like Fortnite how it launched. not for a while.
15 hours a day, resulting in 20 to 30 wins every single day. This would lead Hamlinz to achieve rank 3 overall in the solos playlist, just 2 ranks below I Am the Myth, who was rank 1 at the time. Myth and Hamlin's similar ranking led both of them to become aware of each other's gaming ability, and while both still achieving only around 100 viewers per stream, they will begin to become friends via each other's Twitch chat. Myth would then explode in popularity for his insane building ability, and ultimately be invited as the first pro Fortnite player to join TSM. However, the end goal for TSM was to create a Fortnite team, and Myth knew exactly who he wanted on that team.
Yo, do you have any interest in being an esports player? And you know, I'm like, yeah, that's been like my dream since I was a kid. Then he messaged me, he's like, yo, I really want you in TSM, and I'm like, okay.
In February 2018, only a month before his 1-year streaming agreement was to expire, Hamlinz would be invited into TSM, and his newly found status began to do crazy things to his popularity. Hamlinz would go from 100 average viewers per stream to 200, then 1,500, then 2,500.
Wow.
That number getting larger and larger every single month. Following these rises in popularity, as mentioned in our previous video on Daquan, Hamlinz, Myth, and Day would move into a streamer house together, ultimately signifying the success of the creators as well as the bond between the 3 TSM members. It would also be around the same time that people would become aware of Hamlin's short stature, which led to countless hilarious memes, ultimately resulting in a stronger bond between Hamlinz and his audience. The jokes relating to Hamlinz being short would also reveal that Hamlinz was able to do an incredibly convincing child's voice, which he would take into random duos and squads under the name Little Sus.
He's right here in the attic. I got him.
Ultimately trolling his audience and making for excellent content.
By the way, I'm a grown
Ass man. Let's go.
These elements would further the growth for Hamlinz until he would reach an average stream viewership of 13,000 viewers per Twitch broadcast in July 2018, also hitting a peak on YouTube, gaining 11 million views for the month. As his Fortnite ability increased, his content creation skills were further refined, and his name became more and more well known amongst the Fortnite mainstream audience. His average viewership would hit 15,000, then 19,000, eventually spiking at a whopping 24,000 average viewers per stream in June 2019, an average that rivaled other top creators such as Tfue and Ninja. When looking solely at his average viewership per month, as well as his YouTube viewership, which was also hitting somewhat of a spike at the same time, you might say that he had achieved everything he ever wanted. All of the things that he had set out in the beginning were completed, and he was living the life which he once envisioned to be perfection. On the surface, things could not get any better for Hamlinz.
Don't forget hit with that.
Whoa, you've got on $68 shorts.
Man,
Fabletics Men wants to learn how we can make our new fundamental.
However, when looking at a different Twitch metric, this didn't really seem to be the case. Hours streamed per month. If anything, this metric is almost the perfect judge of a streamer's desire to continue their content creation journey, because it simply represents how much effort they're putting into their stream. In the 10 months following the release of Fortnite Battle Royale, when everyone stated that the game was in its most enjoyable phase, we can see that the average hours streamed per month for Hamlinz was on a very steady increase. This was also likely underpinned by the insane viewership growth that Hamlinz was receiving, providing him with an extra element of motivation. However, after streaming for a massive 220 hours in early 2018, it seemed like the motivation dried up and Hamlinz would begin streaming less and less every single month. Hamlinz had...
It's crazy because I do that for YouTube. Like one day, I wake up like, do I really want to record a video? But like, I gotta do it, man. Put my name out there and stuff like that. Like, just imagine 220 hours that they said. That's crazy, bro.
Various peaks here
Streaming,
and there, but overall in the 9 months between June 2018 and March 2019, Hamlinz went from streaming approximately 170 hours per month to only 40 hours per month, a drop of approximately 50 to 75%. The reasoning for this initial decline in motivation is hard to pinpoint without a first-hand statement from Hamlinz himself, but we can certainly make some assumptions. The first signs of Hamlinz losing the motivation to stream began in July 2018, which, if we can recall, was the first month in which Season 4 ended and Season 5 began. Now, this is somewhat of an arbitrary statement, but in retrospect, many people remember the end of Season 4 and the start of Season 5 to be the point during which Fortnite would implement game-ruining updates such as the SMG meta.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
This thing's insane.
the game would begin to lose its novelty and ultimately see a decline in overall popularity. This was covered in our Downfall of Fortnite documentary, where we explained that by the end of Season 5, the search volume for Fortnite on Google dropped to its lowest point since it first blew up in Season 2. So the first domino for Hamlinz eventually disappearing is likely that around Season 5 his motivation to play Fortnite itself had somewhat declined, which in turn would lead to a lower motivation for making videos as well as streaming. This lower motivation for Fortnite would lead to, as mentioned, a subsequent drop in hours streamed, and in December 2018, after 6 months of declining hours, Hamlinz would take his first extended break from streaming and content creation, owing to what would also be the beginning of a range of documented problems for TSM Hamlinz. On the 16th of December 2018, Hamlinz would tweet out, "I got the weirdest streaming injury. I got a bump or something in my butt crack. It actually hurts to sit down." Following some replies, Hamlinz would then tweet, "Y'all are scaring me," saying it's a pilonidal cyst. Dang, I should probably go get it checked out. The bump's in the same spot. Which would then be confirmed with, "It's definitely a cyst. I'm getting it removed tomorrow. In a lot of pain right now. Feels bad, man." Following the removal, Hamlinz would then take around 3 weeks off streaming, which seemed to be reasonable judging from a comment on a Reddit post saying, "When you get a cyst like this removed, doctors recommend you don't sit down for long periods of time." However, while the break seemed to be somewhat justified, his fans began to ask questions. Anyone know what's going on with Hamlinz? He came back and did a few streams before ending his stream almost immediately because of stream snipers. That was almost a week ago and hasn't been live or tweeted since. After this short cyst-induced break was over, Hamlinz would begin streaming regularly once again, however at reduced hours compared to the months prior. In May of 2019, he would stream for 100 hours, however only 2 months later in July 2019, he would stream for only 30 hours, and in August he would stream for only 3 hours on the first day of the month, then completely disappear. Hamlinz would stay completely silent on social media during his hiatus, but after 3 weeks of silence would make a tweet announcing his hatred for cancer. At first, many fans thought that perhaps Hamlinz himself had contracted cancer, and that was the reasoning for his break from streaming. However, it will be revealed in a private Discord that his grandmother has breast cancer, so he's going through a lot right now. He also said he's going back to VA to visit her, and once that's done, he should be back to streaming. TSM would even release a video titled "Where is Hamlinz" in mid-October, more than 2.5 months after he would stop streaming, attempting to comedically rediscover where Hamlinz had gone.
Who do you think put up these posters around the neighborhood?
However, this video turned out to be a promotion for the return of Hamlinz, as found out at the end of the video, and Hamlinz would return to Twitch only a day later. This would be accompanied by a video on his YouTube channel titled "The Return of Hamlinz," in which he would confirm that it was because of his grandma that he had stopped streaming for almost 80 days.
And my grandma recently had breast cancer. That being said, my grandma's good, bro. She had surgery. Everything's good now, bro. So bless up, yo. We back!
However, despite saying "we back," Hamlinz certainly wasn't back to his former position of motivated glory, as he was still only streaming between 35 and 70 hours per month following his return, less than a third of how much he was streaming at his peak. This was an indication that despite returning from a break, he still wasn't all that interested in playing the game, and if that was the case, then perhaps it wouldn't be long before he quit streaming once again, which is exactly what happened. In December 2019, Hamlinz would make various tweets such as, "Honestly, I'm having a pretty bad Christmas Eve. Dealing with some stuff and I'm really sad right now. If I stream tonight, it will be later if I feel better. I hope you guys understand. Send some love, please." Y'all ever just start crying but don't know why? Current mood, love you guys, and good night/good morning. At around the same time, Hamlinz's grandfather would pass away, which resulted in a further emotional decline for TSM Hamlinz.
I made myself happy, and I continue to be happy for a very long time. And then, as soon as my grandpa passed, that went all downhill.
After yet another decline in hours streamed by early 2020, Hamlinz would go ahead and make a tweet stating, "I'ma take today off to let my throat heal, G. Been a pain in the ass for a week and it will never heal if I keep screaming. I'll make it up with some double-length streams." However, unfortunately, Hamlinz never came through with the double-length streams, as he hasn't streamed at all since this tweet was made over 13 months ago. On top of this, Hamlinz hasn't even uploaded to his YouTube channel for 14 months. Hamlinz has only remained somewhat active on Twitter, posting 6 tweets in the last year. In October 2020, 7 months after quitting streaming, Hamlinz would post a tweet stating that he was feeling like himself again. However, this has led to no further streams or videos, which leads us to the ultimate question of the video: what happened to TSM Hamlinz? Well, the main reason seems to be somewhat obvious. Certainly a decline in Hamlin's both mental and physical health. Almost all of the
Motivation,
previous
really, bro.
breaks
It's all
that
about
Hamlinz would take
motivation.
were justified by some kind of mental anguish, such as the death of family members or physical problems such as his cyst and sore throat. On top of this, as mentioned, leading up to his disappearance, Hamlinz would post numerous tweets relating to how terrible he was feeling, giving us a pretty reasonable insight into where his head was at before he would ghost out. On top of Hamlin's mental health problems, it's also likely that his desire to play Fortnite had simply declined from where it had been during his peak. While on his initial 80-day hiatus more than 6 months beforehand, Hamlinz stated that,
I haven't played Fortnite in 2-3 months.
showing that Hamlinz wasn't exactly addicted to the game like many of us were when it was first released. And as mentioned in the previous Daquan video, if he doesn't enjoy playing the game, he's not going to make an effort to return to streaming it. However, similarities between Hamlinz and Daquan's disappearance actually make sense when referring to a comment on the previous Daquan video. Hams and Daquan live together apparently. One of his friends, Yanni, has a thing in Discord dedicated to updates about Daquan, and it said that they were both living together. After joining the Discord, this can be confirmed and has apparently been the case since August 2020, just 2 months before Hamlinz was last heard from. Now, while this sounds like somewhat of a positive thing, the fact that both Hamlinz and Daquan are both living together and likely feeding off each other's depressive energy probably isn't the best formula for getting back into full-time content creation, because they likely just validate each other's long-term break from streaming. Overall, from what has been put forward on social media, it seems as though Hamlinz is certainly going through a rough patch at the moment. However, at the same time, there have been conflicting messages stating that he's also feeling a lot better. Which one is the truth? The question of whether or not Hamlinz will return to content creation or streaming anytime soon is one only answerable by the man himself, TSM Hamlinz.
Man, bro. Hey, that's what happened to TSM Hamlinz, man. If you all enjoyed my video, make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see y'all next video, man.
I